Hello my friends, welcome to your yoga class for the new moon in Pisces coming up on February 27th. My name is Natasha, also known as Nurse Natasha. If you're new here, welcome. If you're old here, welcome back. Again, this is a yoga class for the new moon in Pisces on February 27th. This is an all levels friendly class. I am a trauma-informed, accessible yoga teacher. I specialize in plus size yoga. All are welcome here. Everything I say is an option, not an order, so I want you to listen to your body, do what feels good for you. We're going to tap into the energy of this new moon in Pisces, of Pisces season, and look, I'm a Pisces, so I'm here to guide you through this in the most accurate way possible. This week, the astrology is a little bit of a break, a little bit of a reprieve. This new moon in Pisces is kind of our gateway to eclipse season. Our full moon in this moon cycle is a total blood moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, okay? And then we also have Mercury and Venus retrograde happening as well next month. And this week, this new moon in Pisces is like a little breath of fresh air. It's a little time to really get in your spell work, really get in your manifestation, really just take advantage of the chill energy this week because it's going to get a little bit more chaotic. It was chaotic from our Mars retrograde that ended on February 23rd, but this week is a little bit of a break. So take advantage of it. If you want to learn more about the astrology, of what's going on with this new moon in Pisces, of what's kind of happening in the astrology of next month, I do have a full free video here on my channel for that. It's the What You Need to Know in the Tarot Reading for the New Moon in Pisces. I put out full free tarot readings and yoga classes for every new moon and full moon here on my channel. So if you like witchcraft and wellness, a little bit of spooky vibes, hit that subscribe button. I do this every month. So what you're going to need for this class, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the Pisces energy, and then we're going to get started. While I'm telling you, I'm going to also tell you what you need. We are going to use our blocks for this class. If you don't have blocks, you can use books that are this general shape and size also work. And you're going to need a crystal. It can be any kind of crystal. Clear quartz is great. It's kind of like your basic all-purpose crystal. It could be literally anything. I'm using a labradorite, and it's actually a mermaid carved into the labradorite because I figured what's more Pisces than that. Labradorite is a very Pisces crystal, and then it has a mermaid carved into it. That's what I'm using, but that's because I have like a bajillion crystals. You can use any crystal, and if you don't have a crystal, that's fine too. It's just an option to tap into this Pisces energy because Pisces rules our third eye. In the body, Pisces rules our pineal gland, which is known as our third eye gland that produces our gland. That is our gland that produces melatonin, which is our dreams, makes us dream. Pisces rules dreams. And then Pisces also rules the feet, which we're going to be working on today. But we're going to get into a little bit of everything. But we're going to use this crystal at the end of class to kind of cleanse our third eye. And we're going to also charge this crystal with just some good energy because you might find that you're having really weird dreams during Pisces season. As a Pisces, I always have really weird, vivid, lucid dreams, and now they're like tenfold. So I'm sure the general public is having really weird dreams. So we're just gonna use this to tap into our third eye. This new moon in Pisces, new moons are about manifesting, setting intentions, setting goals, especially again around your dreams, those big dreams. Be delusional. You know, you'll hear Pisces is like the kind of word associated with our sign is delusion, and I can confirm that that is true. Yeah, I'm looking at my notes, and like I said, it's the gateway to eclipse season. Manifest your dreams and prepare for the chaos to come of retrograde and eclipse season, and take advantage of this energy this week to really get your spell work in. If you'd like to join me for some spell work, I have a membership here on YouTube where we do live yoga, tarot, and new moon and full moon workshops where we do kind of spell work and rituals in those workshops. And the last thing I will say before we get started, I know I'm talking a lot, is for my birthday, again, I'm a Pisces, my birthday is March 16th, I am running a half-off sale on my Witchcraft Wellness course bundle. You know, if you want to learn more about yoga, I have a lot of people here ask about doing more advanced postures or more like headstands, how to learn headstands and stuff. I have a course on that. If you want to learn witchcraft and wellness, you want to learn astrology, you want to have tarot, I have a full tarot course to teach you how to read tarot with a yoga class for every tarot card. All of those courses and more are in my Witchcraft Wellness bundle, and it is half off for the month of March for my birthday. So yay, Pisces season, let's get into it. I have my crystal, I have my blocks, and again, any other props that you need for your practice, have them nearby. We're gonna stay kind of down low to the ground. We're gonna get into the feet, we're gonna get into that third eye, and a little bit of everything today. So all that being said, we're going to get started seated. You can sit in any position that is comfortable for you and your body. I'm just going to sit cross-legged here, but anything that feels good for you. You want to sit on a pillow or a block or a blanket or whatever. Maybe take some time to scooch some goodness out from underneath you. Feel those sit bones on the mat. You can have your palms facing down for grounding energy because Lord knows we need it. Or you can have your palms facing up to receive. Or my favorite, you can do as above, so below. One palm facing up, one palm facing down. But again, do what feels good for you. From here, you can either keep your eyes open or closed, and we're just going to take a moment to come to our space, to our mats, to this moment again, this little kind of breath of fresh air, little glass of cold water. Is very new moon and Pisces energy between the kind of chaotic astrology that we've been dealing with and what's to come in about a week. Just taking this moment to come to the present, to focus on our breath. Not changing anything about your breath just yet, just noticing as it goes in and out. Maybe notice what happens in the body as you breathe. So on the inhale, maybe the shoulders rise, the chest expands, the belly expands, we take up space. And then on the exhale, a gentle release, a gentle grounding. You can start to deepen and lengthen these inhales and exhales. And maybe take a little inventory here, take a moment of mindfulness, just check in, ask yourself what's going on, how do I feel? Little body scan, internal inventory of the mind, the body, the soul. And we're practicing non-judgment, non-attachment here. We're just noticing what's going on, being aware of it, being an observer of our thoughts and feelings. And if you notice yourself getting a little bit too attached, that's okay. We're only human. Take a big breath in through the nose, filling up chest, filling up belly, taking up space. And open mouth, exhale, let it go. Continuing those deep breaths. Setting your intention for class, maybe for this new moon in Pisces. What do you intend to do? It can be literally anything. I intend to manifest my dreams. I intend to surrender. Surrender is a big one for this new moon in Pisces. But it can be anything that feels right for you. You can say it out loud or you can say it in your mind. And we'll seal that intention with a breath. Big inhale in through the nose. Fill up a little more. And open mouth, exhale, release it. Continuing to breathe deeply, we're going to start to invite in some movement here. So you can open the eyes if they were closed. You know, we've dealt with the tension of, we had a Mars retrograde in Cancer, and then we're going into retrograde and eclipse season. So we're going to release some tension here. As I say that, of course, my dog starts barking. And we're going to do that with our breath. So what I want you to do is take your hands, and we're going to clasp them right at our heart center. We're interlacing the fingers. And we're going to take an inhale, and we're going to kind of cause tension in our body. We're going to squeeze our shoulders. We're going to squeeze those hands together. And then on the exhale, I want you to release that tension. Press the arms straight out in front of you, still interlacing the fingers. And then we inhale, bring those arms up overhead, and really lengthen the spine, pressing those hands up. And then on the exhale, lower them down. We're going to do that a few times. Inhale, we squeeze the hands together at our heart center, maybe creating that tension. Exhale, press them out in front of us, still interlacing the fingers. Inhale, elongate the spine, really reach the arms up. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, clasping those hands together at our heart center, really squeezing, creating tension. Exhale, press those arms out. Inhale, really lengthen the spine. And exhale, release those hands down. Let your breath return to normal here. Now we're going to move slowly with intention to come to a seat on our knees. We're going to get into the feet. Like I said, Pisces rules the feet. So we're going to start to shift. Now you can put a pillow or a blanket underneath your knees for some extra support, or you can double up on your yoga mat as we come to this seat on our shins, on our knees, on our feet. We're going to start with lifting up onto our knees, and we're going to tuck those feet under. Now you might already feel this stretch just right here. And if you do, you're gonna stay right here. If you want a little bit more, you're gonna take a seat on the heels. Now, this is kind of an intense stretch. If you have plantar fasciitis or like tension in your feet, you're probably gonna feel this very quickly. This is a great stretch for that. If you're a runner, or honestly, if you're standing on your feet all day, this can be really lovely, but it gets intense pretty fast, so release when you need to release. We're just gonna breathe here. Getting into the feet. Tapping into that Pisces energy. Focusing on your breath. And then when you're ready to release, we're going to inhale, lift up, and exhale, you can release the feet. Now we're going to come to the tops of the feet, and then we're going to sit back down on them. Now again, you might already feel this the moment you kind of sit back down on your feet. And you can stay here if that's the case. If you want a bit more, we're going to lean back onto our hands. Now, you're going to start to feel the quads open up, but the shins and the ankles and the tops of the feet as well. Now again, stay here. If you're like, I already feel it, I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs, I don't want to go any further. If you want to go further though, you can start to lift the knees up, and that's when you're really going to feel it in the tops of those feet. Now I want you to find your edge, and then breathe. And then take an inhale here, and exhale, you can release. Now we're gonna come to our hands and knees here. So I'm bringing my hands to the mat, coming to my tabletop position. Shoulder, elbow, wrist are stacked. My hips are stacked over my knees. And we're gonna get into our cat-cow here, just warm up the spine. So we're gonna inhale, lift the heart, lift the chin, open up the chest, arching the back, sticking that booty out. And then exhale, we round, doming out the shoulders, tucking the chin to chest, tucking the pelvis. Inhale to open. And exhale to round. Now you can do 5 to 7 more of these on your own breath, linking your breath to your movement, finding your flow. Pisces season is really all about that flow, that intuition. So do what feels good. I think we forget that part of intuition is also listening to your body. So do what your body is asking for. If you want to rock from side to side, if you want to take some full body circles, go with the flow for this Pisces new moon, and do what feels good. You can finish up this last round and return to a neutral spine. We're going to continue to get into the feet here. So I'm going to bring my left knee to center, and I'm just going to extend my right leg back to the ball of my right foot. Now, the more you press back into that heel, the more you're going to feel that foot in the back of the leg open up. So you can kind of hold it static, just pressing that heel back, or you can rock forward and back. Whatever feels good. Breathing here. And gently coming to stillness if you're moving, switching out to the legs. So my right knee's coming to center. My left leg is extending straight back. My heel is lifted. And again, the more you kind of press back into that heel, the more you're going to feel it. And you can find that kind of dynamic stretch of moving back and forth if that feels good. And then gently come to stillness, and you can release. Now what we're going to do here is a little bit of a flow for our third eye. So our third eye is that center right in the middle of our forehead. Is our third eye right here. And we're going to flow in our tabletop and kind of intentionally, our forehead is not going to touch our knee, but we're going to kind of direct it that way. We're going to direct that energy from the third eye and kind of set our intention there. So I'm in my tabletop, shoulder, elbow, wrist are stacked, hips stacked over the knees. I'm going to lift my right leg and I'm going to point my toe up towards the ceiling. My knee is bent and I'm going to inhale here to lengthen the spine. And on the exhale, I'm going to tuck my chin into my chest, pull my knee in as if I was trying to touch my forehead to my knee. So that's like the intention here, is we're feeling that kind of energy radiate out of the third eye as if it was going to connect to the knee. And then we inhale, lengthen, push the foot back, lift the head. Exhale, crunch it in as if we were going to touch that knee to the forehead. Inhale, lengthen. 2 more here. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, release that right leg down. We'll take it to the left side. So I'm lifting my left leg up, bending at the knee, pointing my foot kind of towards the back of my head. I'm going to inhale to lengthen the spine. And exhale to crunch it in again, like I was going to touch my knee to my forehead. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, squeeze. 2 more here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale and exhale, release. We're just kind of activating that third eye because now we're going to get really into the third eye. We're going to do a lot of taps to the third eye. We're going to really kind of activate that third eye chakra, that third eye center. So from here, we're going to take a child's pose. So I'm going to bring my knees as wide as the mat. I'm going to sink my hips back to my heels and walk my hands out. Now, if you find, I don't know if you guys can hear the church bells in the background, it's like my favorite part about living in Salem. If you find that you can't connect your forehead to the mat, this is where a block can come in, and you can bring your forehead to that block, or a pillow, or a bolster, but we're trying to create that third eye connection. So wherever you are, whether it's with a block or a pillow, or you're in your child's pose and you bring your forehead to the mat. If you wear glasses, you might have to take those glasses off. We're trying to connect that third eye point to something. So find that connection of the third eye, and we're going to breathe here. Kind of feel that pressure in the center of your forehead in that third eye chakra. And find your breath. Our third eye rules our dreams, our intuition, that psychic astral energy. Very Piscean. And we're just going to activate it here in this class. A few more deep breaths here. Now gently, on the next inhale, you can start to rise up, coming back to our seat. Now this is where our blocks are going to start to come in, and we're going to continue to tap into this third eye energy. So I'm going to grab a hold of my blocks. I'm going to bring them to either side of me. Again, we are going to be on our knees a bit, so if you need that extra support under your knees, either a pillow or a blanket, or you can double up on your yoga mat. We're gonna get into some lunges here. So I'm going to start with the right leg. I'm gonna step that right leg foot out, and I'm gonna bend my right knee over my ankle. And this is where your blocks can come to either side of this right foot. Or you can have your hands on your hips or on your thigh or on the mat. And I'm pressing into this left hip flexor. My hips are square. My knee is not going over that front ankle, and my chin and chest are lifted. I'm gonna be here in my low lunge. Breathing here, feeling that stretch in the hips. Now, option to stay here or option to get into that third eye a bit more. We're gonna inhale, lift the arms up overhead, so stretching those arms up. Now, we're gonna kind of do a little third eye flow here. So I'm gonna inhale, really reach the arms, really press into that lunge. On the exhale, I'm gonna start to straighten this front leg. And at the same time, I'm gonna bring my hands to tap my third eye, right in the center of that forehead. So I inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, straighten and tap the third eye. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, straighten and tap the third eye. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Now this time on the exhale, you can bring those hands back down to the blocks or to the mat or to your hips. And we're gonna straighten that front leg fully now for our half splits. And I'm gonna flex my toes back towards my face, again, getting into the feet here. Your hands can be on the blocks on either side of that right leg or on the mat or on your hips. And keeping my chin and chest lifted here. I'm really trying to flex those toes back towards my face. And I'm breathing here. On the next inhale, we come back to our low lunge, and then you can press your hands into the blocks or into the mat. Exhale, bring that right foot back, and we will take it to the other side. So this time, I'm gonna step that left foot out, bending into that left knee, pressing into this right hip flexor. Hands can come on the blocks or on the mat on either side of that right foot. Or again, you can come to the thigh, you can come to the hips. Chin and chest are lifted, and I'm breathing here in my low lunge. Now this is where that option comes in. If you want to flow with the third eye, you can inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale here, and now we're gonna flow with that third eye tap. So I'm gonna inhale, really reach, sink into that lunge. And exhale, straighten the front leg, tap the third eye. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, straighten and tap. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, straighten and tap. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, brings those hands back down to the blocks or to the mat or to your hips, and we walk back, straightening that front leg, flexing those toes back towards your face in our half splits. Breathing here, really flexing that foot, flexing those toes, chin and chest stay lifted. And then on the next inhale, we can return to our low lunge, press hands into the blocks or into the mat. Exhale, step that foot back, and you can come to a seat. Get those blocks off to the side, and we're gonna get into some folds here. So I'm gonna extend my legs out in front of me. We're gonna start with our good old-fashioned forward fold. So my legs are straight out in front of me. You can always keep the feet wide to honor and make space for the belly and thighs. Here again, maybe scooch some goodness out from underneath you. Now, we're going to continue to get into the feet here as well. So we're going to try a few different forward folds with our feet kind of doing different things. So the first one is I want you to point your toes. Like you have ballet shoes on, like point shoes. I want you to really point your toes. And then we're going to inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold forward. Now, see how that feels. Where do you feel this stretch with the toes pointed? Maybe you feel it in the tops of those feet, maybe in the ankles or the shins. We're just going to breathe here in this fold, and maybe you can't fold as deeply because our toes are pointed, and that's okay. You're really intentionally pointing those toes, breathing here. And then we're going to inhale, come on up, exhale here, and now this time we're going to flex the toes back. So again, really intentionally flexing those toes back. Same thing, we're going to inhale to lengthen the spine and exhale to fold forward. And it doesn't matter if you can touch your toes now, you could also use a strap here, but I want you to really just keep those toes flexed. And again, ask yourself, where are you feeling it? How did that shift where you're kind of feeling this pose? Maybe now you feel it in the arches of the feet, maybe in the backs of the legs and the hamstrings or the calves. And we're going to breathe here. And inhale, you can gently come on up, and exhale, you can release. All right, continuing with our folds, we're going to get back into our third eye. Now this is where a block is going to come in, or two. So we're going to get into a Baddha Konasana, or a bound angle pose. So I'm bringing my feet bottoms together to touch. I'm opening my knees, and I'm going to bring my blocks either on the outside of my feet or on the inside, depending on kind of where your legs are. And my goal here is going to be to touch my third eye to my block. And again, this is maybe where you need like 2 blocks, totally okay. But we're gonna find our fold and we're gonna tap that third eye. So I'm gonna inhale to lengthen my spine, and exhale, I'm gonna fold forward and tap my third eye to my block. Now again, it's okay if you need that second block, you can kind of hold it there. You can also do this with a pillow or a bolster or books. And if you don't have any of those things, you can also just take your fold and bring your hands to prayer and just tap that third eye. Whatever feels good, whatever feels right, whatever you need to do to make the pose work for you. We're gonna breathe here. We're gonna feel that pressure in our third eye. Feel that stretch in our hips. Now on your next inhale, you can gently rise up. And now we're gonna do the same thing, but in a wide-legged fold. So I'm gonna bring my legs wide. They don't have to go super wide, just as wide as what feels good. And same thing here, I'm gonna have my blocks in front of me, and the goal is to bring the third eye, the forehead, to tap on the blocks. So I'm gonna inhale to lengthen, and exhale to fold forward until that forehead hits the block. And then we're breathing here. I know it feels weird, but bear with me. Promise we're just activating that third eye. And honestly, like you can just kind of like rest here and like get your stretch in, you know? It's kind of like holding your upper body up. Finding your breath. And gently on the next inhale, you can rise up, and exhale, we can get those blocks off to the side. Now we're gonna take it down to our backs, And we're gonna bring our crystal with us. Don't forget that crystal we got at the beginning of class. And again, if you don't have one, that's totally fine. I'm gonna bring my crystal with me just to have it nearby so I don't have to like get up and grab it. We're gonna find our way to our backs on our mats. Take your time, moving with intention. We're gonna cool down with just some twists, a little bit in the hips here, and then we're gonna get into our third eye meditation here in our Savasana with our crystal. So I'm gonna take this crystal, just put it off to the side where I know I can grab it when I need it. And I'm gonna bend my knees, bringing my feet bottoms up towards the mat. Don't mind all the noise in the background. My neighbors are moving. I do apologize. So from here, with our knees bent, my feet bottoms are on the mat. I'm going to take my right ankle and I'm going to cross it over my left thigh. So it's a reclined pigeon or reclined figure four pose here. You can stay here. If you want a little bit more, you can draw the legs into the chest. You can kind of grab a hold of the thighs. You could reach in between that space you created in the legs. Or again, you can keep the legs down if that feels good. You can also straighten this back leg if it feels good. Wherever you are, we're going to breathe here. Finding a bit of a release in the hips. You know, Pisces is also a water sign. Water is the element of our hips where we kind of store all of that emotional energy. We're just breathing here. Now we're going to take an inhale here. Exhale, you can release the legs if they're pulled in, but we're keeping the legs crossed, maybe even crossing them a little bit more. Bringing the arms out to a T position. I'm going to inhale here and exhale, drop those legs over to the left. So a little double twist here, twist in the legs, twist in the body. If the twist in the legs is too much, you can always go ahead and untwist. You can also gaze over the right shoulder if you want a little more. We're going to breathe here into this twist. A little bit of a release. Gently on the next inhale, you can bring those legs back to center, and exhale, you can unwind and we'll take it to the other side. So again, knees are bent, feet bottoms are up towards the butt. I'm going to take my left ankle, cross it over my right thigh. And again, you could stay here or you could draw the legs into the chest. You could also straighten that back leg if it feels good. And do what feels good here and just breathe into your hips. Take this moment of release. Inhaling here, exhale, releasing those legs if they're tucked in, but keeping the legs crossed, maybe cross them a little more. Arms come out to that T position, and we're inhaling here, and exhale, drop those legs over to the right. And maybe you can uncross the legs if that feels good, or you can gaze over your left shoulder. And we're gonna breathe. On the next inhale, you can gently return everything back to center. And on the exhale, we unwind and release. Now, this is where that crystal is going to come in, my friends. That's why I had you bring it down with you so you don't have to move too much to get it. So we're going to find our Savasana, so whatever the most comfortable resting pose is for you, you can just kind of splay out on the mat, extending the limbs. I like to bend my knees and then knock my knees in together, kind of presses that low back into the mat, relieve some of the tension there. But you can do whatever feels good for you. And then we're going to take that crystal and we're going to put it right in the center of our forehead. Right on your third eye. We're just going to let it rest there. You might take a little finagling to get it to kind of whoop and sit right on your forehead. Of course, I coughed and it fell off. Still recovering from having the flu. I still got an old man cough. It's fine. So we're taking that crystal, placing it right in the center of our forehead where our third eye is. You can keep the eyes opened or closed. And what I want you to do is just focus on that third eye space. The color of our third eye is an indigo, a deep blue color. So maybe visualize that color kind of radiating from that third eye space. But just focus on that kind of pressure point in the center of your forehead. We're trying to use this crystal to cleanse our third eye, but also infusing this crystal with just some good energy. So just send all your energy right there. We're going to breathe here for a bit. I'll let you know when it's time to come back. But just focus your energy on your dreams, your intuition. Allow your thoughts to kind of come and go. You know, those thoughts that pass by in our mind is really our intuition trying to tell us different things. Just be an observer, be a listener. Again, just focus your intention, your energy on that crystal, on that third eye, and breathe here. And I'll let you know when it's time to come back. Slowly you can start to bring your awareness back into your space and back into your body. You can maybe wiggle your toes or wiggle your fingers. Maybe roll out your wrists or roll out your ankles. And gently we're going to reach up and just grab that crystal into one of your hands. You can hold it there. Slowly you can draw the knees up towards the chest if that feels good. And then we're just gently gonna roll over to one side, either side, doesn't matter, using the bottom arm as a pillow. Taking a moment here. And then slowly moving with intention, we're pressing ourselves up to a seat. Again, take your time. Any seat that you feel comfortable in. You can keep that crystal in your hand. We're gonna bring our hands to either side of us. Inhaling those arms up overhead. Exhale, bring them back down, pressing down, releasing anything that does not serve you today. Inhale, reach those arms up, scoop up all this energy we just created in between our hands. We still have that crystal in between our hands. Exhale brings the palms together to touch with that crystal still between our palms, tapping the third eye, and then all the way bring the hands to the heart center. The light and love and the dreams in me honor the light and love and the dreams of each of you. We bow to our practice. Thank you. And that's all I have for you today, my friends. You can take this crystal, you can put it on your altar if you'd like, or I recommend putting it under your pillow for when you sleep to kind of help with those Pisces season dreams. But you could do whatever you want with it. You could carry it around with you. I don't care. But that crystal is now nice and charged for you. I hope you have a wonderful new moon in Pisces. Again, if you want to learn a little bit more just about what's going on energy-wise, I have a video for that here on my channel. If you like witchcraft and wellness, you want free yoga classes and free readings, hit that subscribe button. And again, my courses, my witchcraft and wellness course bundle comes with all my courses and all my ebooks. It's like literally so much is on sale for my birthday. It's half off. The link for that will be in the description box below. Again, I also have a membership here. I also host witchcraft and wellness retreats. If you want to come join me in person, all my Salem retreats are sold out literally through 2026, which is nuts. But if you want to come be a vampire with me in New Orleans, I still have spots left for that retreat in next March. But that's pretty much all I got, my friends. I hope you have a wonderful new moon. You know, embrace that Pisces energy. Let me know what weird dreams you're having in the comments, and I'll see you next time.